So I was seated on the grass and then I felt something on my dress. I was like, okay, what's happening here? For a moment I was like, maybe I'm just warm because we are seated under the sun and maybe I'm starting to sweat a little bit. I can't remember a time where I told my mom I have my periods or I have started my periods.
Also because you were a day scholar, so...
Yes, I could just go home. Just the other day we were in West Pokot.
Exactly,
yeah,
we did a
whole week before Christmas, and we took time to talk to these girls to educate them. And you know, in West Pokot, some of them could not even understand Kiswahili. And then you even give them the pads, because now in West Pokot, of course, we brought binti pads, which was amazing. And you have to tell them what that is, because someone thought it was a food package. Oh, this is hard.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. You're good. You're good, Siti. You're good.
Okay.
Hello, Binti Tribe. This is a podcast where we break the silence around periods. And I want to first of all thank you so much for subscribing, for liking, for watching our first ever episode, and giving us recommendations, giving us feedback. We are grateful and we are so thankful. And now, today I've brought an amazing guest on board. This lady makes me happy. Like, she is the epitome of courage. She's the epitome of grace. I think I have so many descriptions for you. You are, I think I'm bold, but madam, bold is you in capital letters.
Oh, thank you.
She's an amazing champion for children, and at the same time passionate about menstruation. I won't even speak on her behalf. I'll just let her go in and tell us who she is and what she does.
Oh, thank you so much. That was so kind of you.
Yes.
So my name is Wamuyu Kuria. Ivy is a nickname. And I am the founder of Keeping a Girl in School, a non-profit organization that focuses on menstrual health management. Our goal is to do two things. Number one, reduce the stigma and create awareness on menstrual health management. And two, make sure that young girls and women who need access to period products have that. So that's what I'm really passionate about. And apart from that, I do a couple of other things. I am a cybersecurity educator working with Watoto Watch Network. Currently, I'm the Leo District President under Lions International. That means I am the person who works together with young people in Kenya, Seychelles, and Ethiopia. And I am also an actress. That was actually the first thing I did in my life, acting. And I love it. And yeah, that's about me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Najua umekatakata a lot of the information that you should have told us, but Ivy, you are a force. I remember the first time I met you, we were in Machakos doing our first ever Binti donation at Machakos Women's Prison. And you gave a talk around menstruation to these women. You also did a demo, which I was like, who is that girl? And I want her everywhere. I'm going to all our Binti awareness and programs that we do in school. So first of all, it was just right for me to have you on this show as my second guest.
I'm excited. Very exciting, yes, thank you.
And I just want to, tell people, how was your upbringing? I know of your story, I know part of your story, but it would be nice for people to just know, who is Ivy? And how did Ivy grow up?
Okay, Ivy. Okay, so when I introduced myself, I said Ivy is a nickname. So my mother named me Evelyn. And people used to call me Eve, Eva, and then I went to a high school, and then people started butchering my name and calling me Everine, and I was just like, I'm done.
Not having this.
I'm done. I'm like done. My class 8 teacher used to call me Evergreen, and I was just furious. It was infuriating me in so many different ways. So I decided I'm just gonna name myself, because that's the thing. You have the power to write your own story. And sometimes you don't have to wait for people to define you, even those who have the power to define you. And so I grew up with my mother and my sister, an amazing sister. My sister is my rock. And I was born in Dandora, phase 5. That's where I was born. And I stayed there for some time and then moved back to Shags, then came to Kasarani, Mwiki, and that's where we've lived almost all our life. Went to a primary school, did education. I was not one of the brightest students in school, but I knew something. There was something in me that knew I just had to survive. And education for us was more or less a privilege, because I remember this one time when I was about in class 7 or 8, a certain lady came and asked us what we wanted to be when you grow up. And everyone had an answer. I was the last one to answer, and I didn't have an answer. So she asked me, "You mean you don't know what you want to be when you grow up?" And then I was like, yeah, I don't. Because there was one thing I knew for sure. We were poor, and I was not going to go to a high school.
Wow.
And even the people around us used to even tell, even my mom, and tell them, we just know your kids won't go to secondary school because education is expensive. And at that moment, I was just like, are we too poor to dream?
Yeah.
Is that like this? Is this really like?
Is this it?
Is this it? Is this my life? And then I was like, no. Or there was just a moment there, and God was like, you know what? This is my girl, and this is not the end. I got you. And that has been, I have seen footsteps of God working in my life everywhere that I have been. So went to a high school.
Where did you go to high school?
I went to St. Clair Girls, called Gatito Girls. It's near my village where, yes. So that's where my mom went. And it's very close to my grandma's place. So when they took me there, I was actually mad because I was like, I'm not going to my mom's school in Ushago. I was just like, no, I'm not doing that. But at the same time, I was like, okay, this is an opportunity to go get education. Let's try put a nice smiley face.
High school we are first of all getting into.
Yes. So we went there, and the same thing followed through. We had like real issues when it comes to money and going to school, because I remember like this one time when I was in Form 4, and I was the only Form 4 sent home for school fees. I went in a matatu. I cried my eyes off all the way home. I was like, is this really it? Like the whole school, I am the only Form 4 going home for school fees. And in those moments, I was just like, I'm not giving up. It's okay to have hurdles, because again, even in the Bible, God does not promise the absence of struggles. What he promises to do is to hold our hand and walk with us. Yes. So that's what we did. Did my KCSE. I was the best in English. And yes.
It's something. It counts.
I was so happy. And I keep saying that because when I was in primary school, I used to be one of the worst students in English. So that was something. That was an achievement. Actually. Yes. And high school. The other thing I keep on telling everyone about high school is that high school is where you try and figure out what you want to do with your life. It doesn't matter what kind of grade you get, but please try and figure out what do you want to do in your life. So they used to have like people coming to act set books in our school, and I was like, this looks kind of nice.
Something I would do,
Yes. So I was done with my KCSE on a Tuesday. Monday morning, I was hired in a production theater. I was home for 6 days. Yes. 6 days only. Those are the 6 days I have not worked.
When all of us are like, freedom at last. You're like, a freedom to the next job.
Yes. But so Tuesday I was there. Wednesday I slept in. Thursday I went outside and made sure my mom was furious about it because I was late for the very first time. Friday I was obviously grounded, and Saturday. And then Sunday we went to church, and then on Monday I told my mom I'm going for a set book interview.
I'm going to jobs.
I'm going to jobs. And so this production theater was in Kayole. Now, my father had a problem with that because that time is when people were being abducted and kids were being sold, and it was in the heart.
A long time ago.
Yes.
For me, I would never leave the house because when you look at the photos of my mom and like my family, I was the brightest person. So my dad is darker, my mom is darker, and then my brother is darker, and then there's me. So I never left the house. So I know what you're talking about.
So my dad was like, I am not letting you go to Kayole. And I was like, no, you are letting me go to Kayole. And I'm going to be going there to act set books and do something with my life. So that's how I became an actress. I started acting set books there, spent about 8 months or something. And then so now we started negotiating with my dad. Is it set books acting, or is it college and university? And I was like, okay. So this is what you're going to do. I am going to go to a university near home so that I can also be able to access books. And he was like, okay, so long as you go to school, that's fine with me. So I applied to KCA University. They have an amazing school of arts, and I did journalism and digital media.
Okay.
That's where I graduated in 2020. Sisi ni COVID graduates,
Yeah.
which was amazing. And in 2019, I was doing a play, Kings and Boys by Stewards Production. Oh, one of the
That's the set books that are being read by...
No,
or
that one
was...
now was a theatre play.
Ah, okay.
Yes, so I
graduated
continued
now from the set books in schools to
Yes.
now doing plays. Nice.
Oh yes.
Wow.
Oh, theatre has been a passion for me. I actually love doing theatre more than film. I find it very nice, and just having
Real.
your audience there, I just love it. So we did Kings and Boys, and one of the directors there was a scriptwriter working for another NGO, and this NGO had just started working with UNICEF to create awareness on cybersecurity. And so he was like, okay guys, there is somewhere, I know there's an opportunity, I have recommended your name, so you just go and do the interviews, and if you get the
See
jobs,
you get something.
all the best.
Yeah.
So 2019 we did that. We went for an interview, and so this particular NGO is Watoto Watch Network.
Okay.
So Watoto Watch
So
Network
you-
has
it weaves in into the job.
Yes.
Okay.
So Watoto Watch Network has just started a project with UNICEF to create awareness on cybersecurity, and as an actress that was within my line of work. So we got there, did the videos and stuff, and we were done. And then 2020 I graduated. The whole year I was just texting the boss there. Her name is Leah Karaoke. She's amazing. And I was just like, I am graduating, I have done journalism, this and this is what I am doing.
Yeah.
So early January of 2021, she texted me and says, Ivy, come meet me next week. Let's talk about work. And I was like, I am so excited. Thank you so much. And this is what she asked me on call. You're being excited. You don't even know what I'm calling you to do. Maybe I'm telling you to come and wash tables. I was like, yes, I'm coming for that too. I'll still do it. Yes. Because if there is one thing I have realized with myself is I don't like being idle and just sitting. I am a professional overthinker. I can overthink as a job.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was just like, I need to be busy. I need to be busy. And so in 2021, I went and started working for Watoto Watch Network.
Okay, so that's now,
How-
that's where you got now, this was your first job.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Theatre slowed down, then Watoto Watch now picks up.
Yes, so theatre
Okay.
slowed down, Watoto Watch picked up, and then also in Watoto Watch we did a theatre production in partnership with Disney World,
Yeah.
and we had an amazing play at the Kenya National Theatre that was amazing.
Yeah.
So that's my career, I would say, per se.
Getting into-
Yes, because I say I have so many jobs, but that's the part of my job that puts food on
Now
my
your
table.
table. Okay.
Yeah.
I know you also are in Lions Club.
Yeah.
I also know you have your organization,
Yes.
Keeping a Girl in School.
Yes.
Maybe tell us how all of these things weave in.
Yeah.
And then even how you got into the menstrual health space.
All right. So in 2019 May, we had to do a project for videography and production. So we had to shoot like a small documentary, edit it, and all of us had different roles. And that's how we were going to be graded for our graduation. So we're just in a team, myself, Stephanie, Ian, Julius, and Francis. Those are my teammates.
That is such memory.
What is sijawasahau? All of them.
Yeah.
All of them. So we're 2 girls and 3 boys in the team. So Stephanie is a model, an amazing model. She does amazing work. So Stephanie was like, okay, see guys, we do a project on menstrual health. We're like, why?
Yeah,
Because why? As in, yes, why?
Why that?
Then
yeah.
she tells us, May is menstrual hygiene awareness month. We're like, okay, then let's do it. As in, it was not even an aha moment for me. It was like, okay, at least she has an idea that works. So
Maybe I should even pull it back.
yeah.
If you don't mind.
Yeah.
What was your, when did you start your periods, if you don't mind sharing?
Oh, yes. This was I was in class 8. I went to Morema Primary School in Kasarani,
Yeah.
one of the biggest public schools.
Yeah.
And it was on a Friday afternoon. And the reason as to why I remember this is because we were seated on the field.
Okay.
I am a cheerleader by nature. So when there's a football match, 8 green versus 8 blue, I am there screaming at my class. And by any chance, if you guys are defeated, I'm just going to laugh at you. You'll hate me for the whole week. So that's what I was doing on that Friday afternoon. So I was sitting on the grass, and then I felt something on my dress. I was like, okay, what's happening here? For a moment, I was like, maybe I'm just warm because we're seated under the sun and maybe I'm starting to sweat a little bit. And then I was like, wait, maybe there is something here. So I called my best friend. Her name is Esther G. Told her, I see, I would check my dress. And then she tells me, yeah, you've started your periods.
In class 8?
Yes.
In school?
Yes.
In the field?
Yes.
You're not prepared with a
No.
period product?
No, we were not. Not really. Not really. So what she did is we rushed back to class. Oh, no. I rushed to the toilet to hide myself, of course.
With the normal,
yeah,
the
I
way we
removed,
always remove our
yes.
sweaters and
Actually, I think she gave me her sweater. So I
wow.
tied it on my waist and ran to the washrooms. And at some point, we need to discuss the washroom situation in public schools.
True. Yeah.
Because that is one thing.
Yeah.
The kind of washrooms I went to right now, if you told me to go, or I am not. I am
Especially to
not.
change even anything in there. No.
They were horrible. They were
I know.
horrible. So she goes to class, and I think she borrowed the pad from one of the other girls because we had girls who had started their periods a bit earlier, and then she comes and gives me the pad. Hapo kwa mlango juu,
Yeah.
she gives it to me, and then she's like, "Doi." So I remove it and I just put it on my panty the best way I can remember how. Luckily, when we were in class 7, one of our teachers, Miss Maureen Kimani, I remember her because I admired that woman. She was
Yeah.
our teacher of English, and her English was something I dreamt about. So I hope if she ever gets to see this, she's going to be really proud. Miss Maureen Kimani, I hope you're going to be proud. So she took time to teach us how to use pads and sex education in the most traditional way you can
That
think
you
about.
can.
Pass the mango in class, pass the banana in class.
Oh my
Everybody
gosh.
touches and
Yeah.
fingers it kidogo kidogo. Yes. So when I say traditional sex education, I mean mango banana education.
A lot has changed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I just put my panty there and my pad and went on with life. So it was at least home time. So I just went home, and I can't remember a time where I told my mom I have my periods.
Yeah.
Or I have started my periods.
Also because you were a day scholar, so
Yes, I could just go home.
yeah.
And I think either during
Who
that
bought
time,
pads for you when you went home? Like, did someone give you a packet
Yeah.
after your friend gave you the piece? Where did you know?
I can't remember very well, but one thing I remember for sure is that we had some reusable pads.
Okay.
There was a company that had come and they had given us reusable pads, and for me they were giving me
back
such
then.
yes.
Wow.
For me they were giving me such a hard time because I did not know how to manage them properly. Like, am I supposed to wash with cold water, hot water? And then
water,
let me
soap.
explain. Yes, let me explain our bathroom situation. In Kasarani, we used to live in a place where everybody called it the ghetto. It was one plot made of iron sheets, and it had 13 houses. So it's teeny tiny houses,
Yeah.
and we had 2 toilets, 2 bathrooms.
At the corner.
Yes, at the corner. At the corner, yes, absolutely, at the corner. When you enter, the first thing you see is the bathroom and the
Kwani
toilet.
Mukuru kabisa.
Yes. So when I say we used to live in a ghetto, it was
Yeah.
a ghetto for sure. And then, so the bathroom points the water outside the plot. So anyone who's passing can be able to see the kind of water which is coming out.
Yeah.
So if I'm going with my reusable pads to wash them in the toilet and pour the water,
The blood
everybody
and
can see a lot of water with blood in it.
Yeah. What
And
is
it was
happening?
like, what's not happening here? So for me, the reusable pads came with a lot of stigma. Even using them was a problem for me.
I see that.
So what happened is we would try and get a little bit of money from my mother every now and then when she could, because most of the time she couldn't, and buy a packet of pad. By then it was about 35 bob.
Yeah.
And it was not one of the best brands, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention names. So, and then this pad, you could just wear it and then you could feel it's a nylon. So
It's like
yes, yes, and then it has a certain smell that makes you stench. Yes, yes.
Moment of silence.
A moment of silence for bad pads. Because we have suffered. We have suffered.
It's so funny we can laugh now.
Yes,
because to be honest, there's first of all someone who can't access, and then there's someone who actually can, and those are probably the things that they use.
Yeah.
It's such a privilege to sit here and laugh and understand that. And us reliving our life and seeing that we went through that and someone is going through that now,
now.
a lot really needs to change as well.
Yeah.
I see. I understand. But I love that either way your mom in the smallest way was able to get something for you.
Yeah.
I even see the bit of the reusable pads where it still is a problem, is the same problem even now with affording, the hydrogen peroxide to clean it, or are you washing it with hot water?
Yeah.
Where are you putting it? Are you ironing it?
Yeah.
Maybe if you could take us through then. So how do you come back? And you were telling me about the bit of the play
Yeah.
that you were supposed to do around menstruation.
Yeah.
What intrigued you? Did you say yes to the play, or what happened?
Yes. So we had, it was a video production, more or less like a small film. And we said yes, because we didn't have any better idea. And this is someone who's thinking on their feet. We're like, let's go with it. And we divided roles. I was to go speak to my gynecologist so that we can interview him. And then she was to go speak to a few girls, 2 of them to be precise, because she lived near school, and speak to the principal or the head teacher so that we can interview them. So we did that. We started by going to my gynecologist, Mr. Wanjohi, amazing
I know that
person.
you did your research.
Yeah, we actually did. Mr. Wanjohi was very gracious to us because number one, we were recording with phones. This was about 10, 11 years ago.
Yeah.
So we had to record, pause. You see what you have said, let's continue from there.
Yeah.
So he was very gracious to us. And after recording the beat with the gynecologist, now we had to go and do the school beat.
Yeah.
And I was the one who was interviewing the girls. And then within the 5 of us, we were like, okay, guys, how do we appreciate these 2 girls for sitting down and for having the courage to speak to us about their periods? It was a boarding primary school. So number one, we cannot give them money.
Yeah.
Number 2, we cannot buy them food. Because if you give them money, we can tell them to bring to their parents. If you give them food, they do not allow food in boarding schools.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, guys, let's buy them pads. It's within whatever we are doing. And by then, for 50 bob, you could get a good quality pad. We were 5 of us. And lunch at KCA was like 90, 100 bob. So we said, this one lunch is what we are not going to have. We are going to buy them pads. Or you either give Seraphine 100 shillings to buy the pads or bring 2 packets of pads.
Yeah.
So we did that and we had 4 packets. And after the interview, we gave each of the girls 5 packets and took photos for our project because we had to show evidence of
That
what we
this
had
is what
done.
we did, yeah.
Yes. Just the same way we had to record the whole interview and everything. And after that, in the evening, by then I was a WhatsApp status warrior. Nowadays I'm not. All those people who post. Yeah. So I was like, today we had such an amazing day. I posted the photos out there. And our lecturer was like, wow, this is amazing. Good job, people. What happened? What did you do? And someone else was like, wow, this is good. People started getting interest in that. And someone went ahead and wrote an article about it. And the heading was, students sacrifice lunch to buy girls' pads.
Okay, that's that title.
Hey.
Warms your heart.
Yes. Because for me, it was just like,
You
okay.
did see it as a huge thing.
No. For me, it was not.
That was big.
It was not because
actually big.
it's just lunch. And I'm one of those people who can go for a whole day without eating.
Yeah.
It's not healthy, but I can do it. So for me, it was like, it's not a big deal. Why is everyone making it a big deal? And then after they wrote the article, people were like, wow, we would love to support this. What exactly was happening? Is it like a project? Are you guys continuing with it? And I was like, what was someone? No, this was just a school project. Someone was like, no, this is a good idea. You should actually continue with it.
Do something.
And then I said, let me think about it.
Yeah.
I am one of those hard-headed human beings. You don't just tell me something to do and then I go ahead and do it. No, I'm like, okay, let me think about it. Let me see, why should I do it? What makes me tick with this project?
Yeah.
So I sat down and I thought to myself and I was like, okay, so 1 lunch, 5 packets for girls who are starting their periods, that's about 5 months of supply. Okay.
We can do something. Yeah.
It actually makes sense. It's something that can be done.
Yeah.
And after that project, that was the very first time I started doing charity. Before that, I had not, because I was a charity
So that
case.
was also your introduction into charity.
Yes.
I love that.
Before that, we didn't have anything to give. We were the ones people were coming to give to us.
Yeah.
So, and that's how we started. And then, so what I did was...
Who came up with the Keeping a Girl in School? How did you is it a fully fledged NGO? Is it a CBO?
Yes.
What is KGS?
So at the moment, it was just something I used to say. So I would go to children's homes when people are going to visit children's home and say, we are here to keep girls in school. We have brought a few packets of pads. There is for girls, where are you? Come, we give you pads. So it didn't even start, like I didn't know that was the name I wanted to give to the organization. It just started like something we were just saying.
I think the best ideas come in the most simplest of ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
That I just want to keep a girl in school and that's it.
It's as simple as that. So, of course, I went to a few people that I needed advice from and asked them, what do you guys think? Is this like a good name? And then someone was like, no, please don't call it Keeping a Girl in School. You should call it Kuria Foundation.
Already personalizing everything.
Yes. And then I was like, I want to build a community whereby people can come and just feel this is part of them. It's not, if it's Kuria Foundation, it's going to be something for Wamuyu Kuria. But if it's Keeping a Girl in School, it doesn't have my name in it. Meaning that if I come as Joe, as Joseph, as Joy, I can just say, I belong to Keeping a Girl in School.
It is for everyone.
So
I see that.
I think that was that moment for me. After figuring out the name, now we needed to find a slogan or hashtag, something that would help us drive our campaigns. So I spoke to someone I truly admire. His name is Director Thomas Munyeri. We call him Director T. And we were exchanging ideas, throwing words here and there. And I wanted something unique, something fun, something that kids in the ghetto could relate with. And it was not too ghetto-ish to not look professional. So he went ahead and said,
cool word,
yes. So he went ahead and said, Usikue mshy. I was like, boom, that's it.
That's a good one.
So that is our hashtag, Usikue mshy, which means do not be shy. And that is the conversation we are trying to drive, that menstruation is not something to be ashamed of. So, Usikue mshy.
Okay, I love that. I know you're in the cybersecurity space.
Yes.
I know you do something around ensuring like child protection. Tell us about that. What do you do? I know you're an educator around that space, so just talk to us about that. I also know you're the first person who told us, hizo Instagram post munaekelea huko. Ebu, make sure you blur out the children. I think 1 to 3 times you've DM'd me like, Lorna, can you go and remove that child's face? And I have passed that to even the people that I work with, that any photographer, videographer, if you're doing things around children, make sure you just tell us what that entails and what you do in terms of the education.
Yes. So professionally, one of the other things I do is I am a cybersecurity educator. And that is basically child online safety. How do we keep children safe on the digital spaces? And as a person who works in the NGO space and we do a lot of activities with children, some of the things we forget to do is data protection and privacy for kids. Simply because we are helping them doesn't mean we should anika them everywhere online. So whenever we have activities, we make sure, number one, to blur the faces of the kids, put emojis on their faces, or take photos from their back and make sure it's crowd photos. Don't just zoom on one child or have the light on just one child. It's very important to make sure that we are not just helping them, but you're also protecting their data and digital rights. So that's the other thing that I do.
I love that. You're also in Lions Club.
Yes. Oh, Lions.
Ivy, you're traveling with this club. I'm like, can you carry me in your suitcase? I'm here. Ivy's also, so babe, I am here, and then I'm going here, and then I'm finishing. Now I'm in India.
Yes.
And is that something that anyone can join? What is Lions Club? Maybe explain.
Lions Club to me is a joy. It's a home. I found home in Lions International. So Lions International is the largest global service organization in the world. We have a membership of about 1.4 million people in over 200 countries. And how I joined Lions International is through KGS.
Okay.
So it's club-based.
Okay.
They get a group of people who are passionate about service in their communities and invite them to partner with Lions International as service, as people who serve in their communities. Because our motto is, we serve. That's what we do. And we normally say that where there is a need, there is a lion or a Leo.
Okay.
So lions are people above the ages of 35, 36 and above, and then Leos are below the ages of 35 and below. So it's 18 to 30, but when you are Leo lion, you can be a Leo lion between the ages of 30 to 36, around there.
Okay.
How did I join lions?
Yeah.
When we started KGS in 2019, we continued to do what we do, and that is menstrual health management. So in 2021, someone approached us and said, would like for you guys to come and join lions. And then I was like, join.
What is, yeah, it's like
Yeah.
us as KGS or
Yes.
me, or
Yeah. As
how is
in,
it? Yeah.
and then I was also afraid, like, what if you guys take away my vision for KGS, if the way we operate? I was very skeptical, but I was working with an amazing team of girls, and I remember they told me, Ivy, Kwani, what's the worst that can happen? Take that meeting, go tell them what you do at KGS. And then from there, figure out whether you want to do it or not. And that's the other thing that we normally do a lot. We don't want to go and take the meetings because we're simply scared of what the
afraid of.
outcome would be. So we went, took the meeting, and that day I found joy. So we went, and after the meeting, we were now invited, because you have to be invited to be part of the association. And we joined as KGS Leo Club. And they did not change what we do.
Your motto and the goals
Nothing.
and who you are. Okay.
And what I normally say is that Lions is a gold mine. As long as you're willing to pick the tools and go look for the mines where they are, then start doing the digging. After the digging, the gold has to be washed, refined, factory, whatever, and go sell it.
Good that comes from it.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes. So Lions has been such a great joy, and we have found so many partnerships through Lions International with even other Leo clubs, both locally and
because
globally.
I've seen you do international like trips. I've seen you invite foreigners also come and partner with you.
Yes.
I love that. I see how passionate even you are in the menstrual health space. I've seen you work with us at Binti Pads when you're going for our charity drives or our menstrual awareness in the schools and then in the communities as well. And every time I go there and someone's like, so who's the peer educator? And I'm like, that lady. That one. The way she is... you know, tiny. And that's why she resonates with most of the girls in the schools. And the way you do it, it's with passion. We can already see it. And the way you demonstrate is fun. I know at Binti what we speak about is periods should not make you feel dull. You should feel like you're bold. You should feel you're beautiful, and you should feel fun despite you going through your periods. And you demonstrate that even with the way you demonstrate how, you know, how do you wear pads, how do you spot a good pad, how I have all the demo kits. Today we're going to show our audience what you do.
Okay.
Well,
yes, I'd love to.
When I started, I said you're bold. So you know this is something that...
Yes. I'd love to do that.
Maybe now that you're on the journey, what do you think is your life, like, what do you see for KGS? What do you see for yourself moving forward in the years to come?
Oof. That's a tough one, but I like it for a couple of reasons. Number one is because we are dreamers, and the one thing that we do is try and have a vision and live that vision. So what do I see for KGS in the next coming years? Number one, a more impactful organization. And when I say impact, I don't just mean numbers. I mean the people we have educated. Yes, we have served, and the people that we have made sure there is something we call behavioral change. Because there's a difference between awareness and education. Because awareness is like a crusade. You can just tell people, but education is sitting down with people and helping them to understand menstruation, the taboos, the stigma that come with it. How can they be better? So that's the one thing I see for KGS. Number one, I want us to be more impactful and to sustainable. This thing of going somewhere and just donating pads and then disappearing.
What more can we do?
Yes, what more can we do? How can we help this community better and better? So, and then finally,
what has been maybe your biggest win for KGS, and what has been your biggest challenge? What do you say is a challenge?
Our biggest win is going into communities that might have never had the kind of awareness sessions we give, and might not have ever had a chance to get period products.
Yeah.
Just the other day we were in West Pokot.
Exactly.
Spent
I
there
wanted
a
to say
whole
that.
week.
Yeah.
We spent
Yeah.
there a whole week before Christmas, and we took time to talk to these girls to educate them. And you know, in West Pokot, some of them could not even understand Kiswahili. So I would
Wow.
teach in Swahili, then get them to translate to West Pokot language,
Yeah.
then for them to understand, then we do
This
it
is what
all
I'm
over
saying.
again.
That is hard. I am a
Yes.
trainer, and
Yeah.
I've been called to Congo to do some training. Best believe.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's
Yeah.
not easy.
Yeah.
And then you even give them the pads, because now in West Pokot, of course, we brought Binti pads,
Yeah.
which was amazing. And you have to tell them what that is, because someone thought it was a food package. Where have they seen pads before?
No.
Where?
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
Oh my God.
Nowhere. So we had to tell them on the first day we gave them that these
This
are pads.
is pads.
They are used when blood comes out of your vagina, and this is how you use them.
That is a 14, 15. What was the age group of the
13 to 17, but now we had also 18 years old,
Yeah.
because you know
Their
there
parents.
yeah, some of them were not even, did not go to school, some of the girls and the boys there. So we didn't just have people who are going to school, we had people who are just living in the communities.
Ivy? Thank you for all that. By the way, thank you for all that you do. If we
You're
don't give you your flowers,
Yeah.
Ivy, you do an amazing job.
Thank
Just
you.
the other day we were at Ngando.
Yes.
And I remember after you did the demo,
Yeah.
and we talked to we were doing like a recap session,
Yeah.
and the girls actually repeated word for word what you had taught them.
Yeah.
And that's what we said, if that one girl remembers what you've taught them, that is the impact
Yeah.
that you always want to leave.
Yes.
I love that. What is the biggest challenge you'd say?
Some of the biggest challenges that we have experienced as an organization, number one, is lack of resources. And when I say resources, I don't mean money, I mean even time. I mean people on the ground to help
Personnel.
us. Yes,
Yeah.
the team that we need, because now KGS operates all over the country, and this year we are operating beyond the country,
Yeah.
which is a big win. And when it comes to resources in terms of time, you know, the NGO space is very special, let me just say that. And every now and then, even if you do this, you also need to put food on your table. So juggling between work and charity can be a challenge. And obviously also lack of resources in terms of sanitary pads, the money
This
to
is
even
not a
go there.
full-time job that
Yes.
sustains you.
Yeah,
This
it is not.
from the heart,
Yes,
actually.
yes.
Yeah.
That's why I said I have jobs. I have a job that puts food on
Food
my
on the
table,
table,
and
yeah.
a job that heals my heart.
Yeah.
It's something I want to wake up and do.
Yeah.
So KGS is that for me. So in terms of challenges, even some communities don't know they have a problem with menstruation. So we can start with the taboos there
Yeah.
that come with it. And some people are like, no, you can't tell our girls
Msikuje
about periods.
kutuambia, we don't want, like, what are those new things that you're coming to teach
Yes.
us or bring as culture?
Yeah, because even sometimes we have had to tell people that we are coming to do motivational talks for us to just be allowed to, you know, have access to the girls. Because by the end of the day, our goal is to make sure that these young girls and boys understand sexual reproductive health and rights.
Yeah.
And we also understand that some communities are a bit behind.
Yeah.
We don't blame them for that,
Yeah.
because I mean, it's a
That's
whole
how
new
they've-
generation, and
yeah.
they were doing things in their own different ways. So challenges are there, but the one thing I do or understand is that if it was easy,
Yeah.
everybody would have done
Within-
it.
Where's the one place that I think you recall as at the back of your mind that reminds you, this is why I do what I do? What's that one place that you went? For me, it was Kajiado, when a young girl told us, if it was not for your pads that were brought here 2 years ago, I would not have been in school. And that I came back with that in my heart, knowing, to be very honest, this is what I want to keep on doing, no matter how hard, no matter how stressful it can get, to run a sanitary pads company and keep it afloat and ensure that that lady never lacks. What is the one story that I think you can give to be like, this is why I wake up every day, even though there's no motivation?
Yeah, I think for me, it's my own story. I am the girl who keeps me awake every other single day and wants to wake up and do this again. Because I remember my mom looking at my face and saying, I wish I could afford hizo pads zingine. By hizo pads zingine, she meant she wishes she had the capacity to buy us disposable pads, because she could see how much we were struggling with the reusable pads, with the whole living situation. So I'm like, I don't want periods to feel as if something you dread. They're coming. Periods are hard, naturally. They're hard, they're annoying. Like now you can see pimples on my face. They're going to be here in less than 7 days. I'm not looking forward to the next 7 days. Please, let me just put it out there. But I want to make it easier, knowing that I have period products, meaning that I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about everybody in the whole neighborhood knowing that I'm gonna be having my periods, and the stigma and shame and lack of education that comes with that. I don't have to do that. So making sure that girls like me get to have a better menstrual experience is what wakes me up every single day, because I understand how that looks. I know how that feels, and I would not wish it on anyone.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Tell us, what would you tell your younger self?
Oh,
She's been through it.
oh my God.
She's been through it. Yeah.
Oh, this is hard.
Yeah. You're good.
Yeah.
You're good. You're good. You're good, City. You're good.
Okay.
Hey, where? We big girls over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You actually are courageous. I love how bold you are.
Yeah.
I love how amazing and bubbly. Ivy, it's I don't think I've seen you in a mood that is low. I think you give the crowd energy, and we love you for that.
Yeah.
And thank you for being the champion that you are for
you.
most of us,
Yeah.
and for the young girls.
Yeah.
And thank you for even saying yes to being part of, the crazy that we experience.
Yeah.
I love you for that, and I'm giving you your flowers.
Thank you, darling.
Yeah.
Okay. Dear younger self, right now you go by Ivy. Chances are you didn't even think about this before a very, very long time ago. Life has been beautiful. It has also been hard. But the one thing for sure is the story didn't end at being poor to dream, being too poor to dream. The story is still continuing. And in spite of everything, we are here and we are doing amazing. We formed an organization. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
And this organization does amazing work. In spite of everything, you pack a suitcase almost every week, travel to one and another country and community to spread hope, to work, to serve. And I know I don't say this very often, but honey, I'm proud of you. You're doing amazing. And it has also been 1 year and 6 months since you lost your mom. The one woman who has been your foundation, and the one person you have known to sacrifice everything in her power to make sure that you and your sister got the very best education. And that was also the best inheritance she gave you, because in spite of being poor, you are now a learned woman.
Yeah.
And nowadays we have a saying that education earns you respect and money gets you audacity. And honey, you're crushing at both.
Yeah.
You have struggled for a very long time to look yourself in the eye and say, I'm beautiful. But guess what? Right now,
You are beautiful.
you are the prettiest person I know. And it's not just about your face. It's also about your heart, your character. You're somebody I admire. I wake up every day and say, yes, this is the girl I want to be, because she's truly amazing. And one more thing. You remember how mom used to say your friend is Jesus and stuff like that? When you say, mom, who is your friend? And then she goes ahead and says, my friend is Jesus. You actually made him your friend. And it's amazing how you have taken a leap of faith, and God has been your backbone. He has protected you, provided for you, and shown you that it's actually beautiful to believe in God. So if you get to see this today, I want you to know something. There is no limit to this world. And when the Bible says, I have good plans for you, God is actually serious about it. Because where we are right now, it might feel as if it's going to the peak and whatever, but He's just getting started.
He's got you.
And He's got us. Because that's the kind of God we serve. So I love you. I think you're amazing. So
To many more greater selves.
Yes,
I love
yes.
you, sweetie. You're awesome.
Love you
Thank
right
you
back.
for even coming to my podcast. I am proud to have you. I love you.
Yeah.
I love you, Ivy.
Yeah.
You are an inspiration to many. The way you stand up on that stage and do your thing, it's not many people are courageous enough to do that. You're destined for amazing things.
Yeah.
Keep inspiring us.
Yes. I think this has been one of the most amazing spaces I have been in. And maybe I might just mention that there are some things that don't get addressed every now and then. Like, for example, how do we do it as young founders? Because we are young.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. But the one thing I'm going to go out there and tell everyone is that if you have a dream in you or something that you want to do, please go ahead and do it.
Do it afraid,
Do
but
it. Yes.
do it.
Yeah.
And
Do it
that's
afraid.
Actually, here there's a saying that we say,
Yeah.
and that's on period.
On period.
Yeah.
That's
On period.
That's on period. Yes. So go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. You have to do it scared. You'll never be prepared enough to do it. And if you're running a non-profit organization or a charity organization, they can never be enough. There are a lot of people in this world who need our help. So if you're out there and you're passionate, even if it's a teeny tiny passion that you're trying to feel it, and then you don't know what to do about it, go ahead and do it. For us, it started with 2 girls, then went to 6 girls, then 13, then 35, and voila.
Now you're here.
Voila.
I am proud of you.
Yeah.
I really just want to say thank you, first of all, for being on this podcast, for coming on board. There's a lot that Ivy does, both online and offline. You can find her on her socials. We'll link her socials there. See what KGS is all about. If you would like to even come on board or ask her to, be part of what you do, if you find whatever she's doing as something that you'd want to join, talk to them. They're always open for volunteers. And with this season, I am really feeling we're going to learn a lot. So Ivy, before we wrap up, you had promised to do something for me, right?
Oh, yeah.
Whole demonstration.
Yes.
Girl, I brought the demo kit. you fam, they need to see what you do.
Yes.
They need to see what you do. I also brought this. We also have pads.
Yeah.
So take us through. How do you do this? Where does it start?
Yeah.
Show them.
So part of what we do in education on menstrual health management is making sure that menstruators get to understand what kind of products they need for their periods. And here I have a packet of disposable pads, which is a single-use pad. And the first thing you do is check expiry date. So I'm just going to look. The expiry date for this one is 18th 7th 2027. So this pad is very nice to use. And then the other thing you check is make sure that it's not opened by anyone. Yote, it has been sealed. Imefungwa vizuri kabisa kabisa. So after you buy your pad, you go home with it. The next thing you do is wash your hands. Mine are clean. And then you come and take this pad and tear it open. I'm just gonna open mine. 1 second. Like this. And then you get one piece of the pad like this one. Then after you get your pad, the next thing you do is make sure it is not opened by anyone. Then so you come here, open here using this purple sticker like that. Then open the other part like this. Then here you are going to see this paper. It protects it from being exposed to air, and then there is like gum here, there is glue. So hii karatasi inafunika hiyo glue, unatoa hii karatasi. When you remove it, you expose the wings. Hapo. Alafu unakuja, unatoa hii karatasi ya hapa nyuma. This one. Then these two papers, you keep them well for future use because you will need them. Then when you look at this pad, it has 3 places. So there is this part 1, part 2, part 3. And it also has wings. This is how a good pad should look like. And this smaller part goes to the front, this in the middle, and this in the back, especially for school-going girls, because you tell them they spend most of their time seated. And that's why you will see a stain here behind on the top if they wear this one at the back and this one at the front. So it's very important to have this one at the back to give it the protection they need. And then so this pad cannot just be worn like this. You need something else, and I have something. Ta-da! You have a panty. You need a panty to wear a pad. So if, for example, you are going to be donating pads anywhere, please include even if it is one panty for those girls, because they can't use these pads without this panty. So you take your panty, turn it inside down. Of course, mine is clean. It has already been washed. It is clean. So make sure it's a clean panty, not just any panty, a clean panty. Then take this first part. Most panties have these 2 lines here. So you're going to put the pad there. Then here, I washed my hands because I'm going to be touching my pad like this. Alafu nikuje nifungue wings hapa nyuma vizuri. Make sure imestick kwa panty yangu because sitaki ianguke alafu niibike mbele ya watu. Ndio hiyo, side nyingine hapa. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Haya, unaona venye kamekaa? Imekaa vizuri hapo. Alafu nikuje, nimeshawekelea pad yangu vizuri hapo. Kanakuja kanakaa hivi. Alafu sasa the next thing to do is to wear it. So I am going to wear it. Haya, 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 haya. Yes, so this is me wearing my pad and my panty very nicely, very nicely. Unaona hakajatokea huku nje. It's supposed to come and fit here in the middle very nicely, and here at the front very nicely also. And it's also very, very important to note that this panty is supposed to be worn inside the trousers, not outside. So we make sure that we tell our girls that, because a lot of them will do exactly what I have done. So depending on your cycle, you can wear this pad for 4 hours, 6 hours, maximum 8 hours. Maximum is 8 hours. So you come, and then now you're going to be going to the washroom to remove your pad or change it. So you lower your panty to this level. And for girls who are starting out their periods, they need to know that if you want to pee or poop, you can always remove this panty like this. You don't have to change the whole pad, because a lot of them think they need to change the whole pad, and that's not the case. So after you lower it to your knee height, the first thing you do is come behind here, remove the wings like this nicely. After you remove them, now you come and remove from here. You touch this front part, because here we don't have blood, but from here henceforth we are going to be having blood. So unakuja unakatoa vizuri like this, remove it. First thing you do is fold it in half. Nasikia your glue. Yes, a good pad should have good glue to make sure that it sticks on your panty nicely. Alafu una fold, you roll it, do that and this. And then I told you guys that I'm going to keep my papers nicely so that I get to use them later. Nitakuja nichukue hizi makaratasi zangu hapa. Stick this one here, and then use this paper from the end that does not have my sellotape. This is my sellotape. So from this other end, I'll come and wrap my pads nicely. I wrap my used pad like that, and this is how you're supposed to dispose of your pads. So if by any chance you have just been removing them and throwing them away, that is the wrong way to do it. This is the correct way to do it, so that even if by any chance someone sees it, they're not disgusted. Hatutaki kuchafulia watu roho. So make sure you throw your pads like this, and then if by any chance you're somewhere you don't have either a bin or a toilet that has a hole, and then you can just throw it inside there. You wrap this with tissue and then put it in your bag. In your household, there is a way you dispose your used sanitary pads. Then go and dispose it that place, because if you dispose them anywhere, we are doing an injustice to our environment, and we don't want to do that. So make sure you are disposing your pads correctly, and enjoy your periods.
I have been your host, Lorna Joyce, and this is On Period Podcast. Thank you. Please make sure to watch, subscribe, like, share, and give us feedback as always. We'll be here with another episode. Tune in.